Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Tuesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Art Chat Daddy Sims, and I'm excited to be back with you guys after a wonderful Labor Day weekend. Our weather changed tremendously here in Chicago. I was at a cookout yesterday, and it was warm and sunny earlier during the day. And last night, I could have lit a bonfire. That's how cold it had gotten here in Chicago, and we're expecting really low temperatures this week for this time of year. But other than that, everything is all good, and I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday weekend. Well, as you all know, September is Blood Cancer Awareness Month, and being a blood cancer survivor, I just am honored to have this show this evening. You know, on Tuesdays, we do give back. Anything and everything is all about giving back to people and being able to help people grow and live healthy and complete lives. Well, tonight is no exception to the rule. We have a mental health expert who's going to stop by. This is actually National Mental Health Week, and she'll be here tonight to talk to us about mental health and long-term or life-changing healthcare diagnosis, cancer, anything that you've been told that you may or may not have a chance. It takes a toll on the mind, so she'll be here to talk to us about that. And then our good friends over at the Illinois Medical District Guest House, or as they so coolly say, IMD. Did I do that right, Dion? She's backstage. Did I say that correct? Guest House, absolutely. Are having a wonderful benefit fundraiser in October. Yours truly is a part of this event. And so tonight we're going to talk to a gentleman who is quite the entertainer, and at one point was a very large event promoter here in the city of Chicago. He's going to share his medical journey with us. He was diagnosed, he's a 2-time cancer survivor, as well as a transplant recipient. And we're going to talk about all the love, adoration, and respect he has for IMD Guest House and all of the wonderful things that they're doing for people who come into our city from all over the world and need their services. All right. That's how it works. Okay. So our guest co-host tonight, she's been here with us before. She's a dynamo. She's a powerhouse. Every time she's here, she sings us a lullaby, a tune or something. And so tonight, she's channeling a famous Black actress. I'm trying to figure out who it is. I kept looking at her back in the green room, and I kept saying, oh my God, this is Pam Grier, the young Pam Grier. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. My girl, your girl, and everybody's favorite on-point person, Miss Dion Nicole Smith. Yay!
Yay!
Hello, darling.
Hello. I am blessed. It's a lot,
Good.
isn't it? It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's fabulous, though. It's fabulous. It takes me back to Dion. I know you're born and raised here in Chicago, so it takes me back to AKAs. It takes me back to coconuts. It takes me back to you know places where we used to juke. I could see you now in some metallic leggings with a with a cut top on, and you know you giving us Sister Sledge tonight. You are
very much, or Diana Ross too. Let's think about Diana when she was in the 70s in that period, and Diana kind of had that hair. Yeah, that's true.
Well, in my mind and in my head, Diana Ross is my mom. Ever since my encounter with her and her daughter, Rhonda Ross, I want to belong to the Ross family. So you putting Diana Ross there just made me just say, yes.
It was so meant for you to hear that.
Well, thank you, dear. I appreciate you so much. Well, this makes your 50th guest co-host appearance. I gave Kay Renee the award of being the biggest guest co-host other than Japonda Lynn. But I think now, I think you look good in the seat too now. So welcome back.
Thank you. Whenever you need me, but this is my 4th time. So four times in a row: June, July, August, now.
Okay.
So I remember the dates and everything too. June 1st, July 15th, August 25th, now September 8th.
Well, good. That's what I want to hear. And look, and that's what we need. We need your voice. We need your opinion. I'm not a microphone hog. Y'all notice my new microphone tonight, and
I love it. I love it.
Headsets,
I
all of
love
that.
it.
I just love it. Thank you. This was from one of our viewers who said, Chat Daddy, I want to up your experience on the air. And I said, well, I really appreciate you. So this
Oh,
was a beautiful gift from one of our loyal fans and listeners of the show.
that's
Yes, it was.
wonderful.
Yes. So I'm actually excited about that. So
Yeah.
Dion, let's get into the COVID-19 numbers, and then you and I got a lot of gossip to talk about. We got a lot of
I
different things to
know.
cover. All right,
There's a lot.
so yes, it is. Did you have a good weekend, by the way? I didn't ask you that. How was your holiday weekend?
You know what? It was a blessing because I got a chance to see a couple friends that I haven't seen in a while, but at a distance, of course,
Mhm.
being smart. But it was good to be able to do things like, just be close to people. Hey, Mamie. Be
Mhm.
close,
Oh,
be
I
close.
love Mamie Rogers.
I
I love her.
know. How can you
Yeah,
not love Mamie? But
I
it,
love
it
Mamie.
was good to just, reach out to a couple people and connect with them and spend a little time with them and then call people. I'm all
Yes,
about just checking in. In
right.
this period, I try to check in on my people. I do that with you. I try to check
Yeah,
in on my people just to see if they're okay. And
yeah,
so I was able to do that with a number of different friends. So I was blessed by that. I really
yes.
was. So, but the weather was so beautiful outside of the crazy, rain we got on Sunday. But
Ooh,
hey,
Lord.
I'm not gonna complain because God obviously wanted some water to come on down. So hey,
Yes.
and
Okay.
I just want him to send it to California though.
Oh my God. We'll talk about that in just a second. Hold tight. Let's give these COVID numbers.
Yeah.
Illinois health officials announced on Tuesday 1,392 new known cases of COVID-19. Unfortunately, we had 7 additional fatalities. This brings the total of number of known cases of infection here in the state of Illinois to 252,353 cases, with us now having a statewide death total of 1,186 people since this pandemic has
Oh my God.
started. And for a lot of you all who are either taking your summer road trips or air trips, or maybe returning back from your trips, I have some good news. Mayor Lori Lightfoot has released the following places off of our travel ban list. The city of Chicago has added Kentucky to the list of places y'all can't go.
Wow.
Y'all can't go
Wow.
to Kentucky. No,
Wow.
no bourbon. The Kentucky Derby was just this past Saturday. So
Yeah.
y'all was probably, down there doing team too much, even though they didn't have anybody in the stadium. It probably was people
Wow.
down there doing the hold down and everything else. No pun intended.
Oh my goodness.
So yes, now Kentucky is on the list, but removed from the list are 2 of my favorite places, California and Puerto
Hmm.
Rico. They have now been removed off of the list of places
That's
you can,
great.
that you can now travel to.
That's
So
great.
isn't that wonderful?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Honestly, I think, we know. We just have to stay strong and make it through. That we
Hmm.
will make it through. This will
Hmm.
not last always, right?
No.
Trouble don't last always. Take it back to the church. Trouble don't
Yes.
last always. And
Right.
we know this is not going to last always. So as hard as it is, and it's hard,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we have to be patient. We have to find ways to be creative in connecting with people.
Hmm.
And we just have to, we have to fight for joy. I say this almost constantly because
Hmm.
everything and the sadness and the everything that's going on in the world will overwhelm you and
Yes,
envelop
it
you.
will.
And so you
Hmm.
have to fight for joy. You just have
Hmm.
to try to just keep your head in a positive space. You
Hmm.
have to.
Yes.
Uh-oh, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you at all. Nope. I don't know. Nope. I can't hear you at all. Nope. Unfortunately.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Can you
Okay,
hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. You know what happened with that? That was going perfectly. Okay.
It really was.
Yeah, that was. I got to figure out what the deal is with that. With that being said, a lot of people have had to change their life since this pandemic to be able to find more peace, comfort, ways of doing things much differently. So we know, that there has been a shift in a lot of people's thought process in the way they handle things in today's society. So yes, no, you're absolutely right. Well, with that being said, Dion, let's head out to talk about our friends in California. I was reading in a news story that they feel as if the last brush fires to happen in California is a result of pyrotechnics that were at a gender reveal party. What in the world? Dion, please tell us the story.
That really broke my heart, because we know that's been the wave for a minute, right? Everybody's been creative about ways to get family and friends excited about this new bundle of joy that's coming into the world. Right. But people are doing too much. That broke my heart when I heard that was the cause that started all of these fires, when we know California doesn't need any more. No. They have had their share of horror when it comes to fire. It's as if it's a never-ending stream or a bad movie that's on loop. Because when I heard the story, I went, "Are you kidding me? Another one?" I just, my heart is breaking for them right now. Mm-hmm. All of these people's, property and land and just disappear.
Yes.
Overnight.
At one point, Dion, there was conversation that people feared that California would get the big earthquake and end up falling off into the ocean. Right. I'm afraid, and God forbid, I hate to say this, but I'm afraid brush fires is going to burn half of California off the map.
Yeah, I've been thinking the same thing. I'm like, I pray for all my family and friends out there in California, because I have a number. And I think about that. I just wonder what is up with the fires. Right. It's been never ending for a minute. Yeah. And it just breaks. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I don't understand. But I'm always trying to figure out, what can you say? I'm sure those people feel bad enough as it is. So I don't want to add any more to their plate. I really don't, emotionally. I'm sure they feel horrible. Right. But it does make you wonder, did you know what you were doing when you did it?
Yes, yes.
Like people who pop firecrackers at 2 a.m., please, you don't think about anybody else around you.
No.
And they've been doing that for a while in the city of Chicago, and that, Art, because you get so tired of hearing people do it. And I think it's because we've been cooped up for so long in the midst of the pandemic that people just went crazy and started buying up all the firecrackers. And it drove me up a wall.
Oh, yeah. I'm so glad they stopped with them. Matter of fact, to be honest, Dion, over here in my area, they actually stopped after the 4th of July weekend. Yeah. Somebody actually made a joke on Facebook yesterday, like, what up? No Labor Day weekend fireworks. And I said, oh, Lord, please don't start these.
Yeah, don't put that out there, right?
Please don't put that in the atmosphere. Please let that, no. We don't need any more fireworks.
Please don't.
I hate to say it. Look, Dion, I hate to say it. Let's think candy corn, pumpkin spice, turkey and dressing, and Christmas tree. Let's think all of that now.
Exactly. Yeah, no. Yeah. We don't need anything else. Nope.
Okay. Sorry. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, moving on in top news stories today. Today was the official first day for Chicago public schools. That meant around 400,000 CPS students either went to school, they're virtually. None of them are actually going into a classroom. Now, I do have some friends whose children go to private school. They had the option of virtual or, in person. Some of my friends' children chose in person. They chose in person. They did. And these are elementary and high school students. What I'm saying? Private school. They did choose to go. Other friends that their students have been learning at home. And so today, Mayor Lori Lightfoot and CPA President Dr. Janice Jackson greeted students virtually today to welcome them back to school. And here's the deal. CPS is trying to get every student a laptop or a tablet. Now, they've distributed over 128,000 of them starting this spring.
Right.
They sent out another 1,800 recently this week. But there are parents who are still trying to figure out how to get a computer or decent Wi-Fi access. And I can attest to the decent Wi-Fi access problem.
Exactly.
So what do you think about all this, Dion?
Because that's the biggest thing, right? They have been trying to distribute and have been doing it. So I definitely, bravo, kudos. You have been trying to distribute for a while. When they stopped early in the spring and they tried to just adjust and to switch to the virtual model. But you have to look at, they can have a device, but who is going to pay the cost of internet access?
Right.
That is the question.
Right.
Who is going to pay the cost? You need really all of our companies to come together to underwrite the cost of educating our kids. That is really where we are right now. A device is great. It doesn't work if you don't have the access. And that's going to, that is going to diminish. And if it's not reliable, as we talk about and we joke about, because you're at home in your home studio trying and doing what you can to produce an amazing show night after night, but it's still a challenge because you don't have the access you even need. So just imagine a child who does not maybe have the means that you have, who is low income, who is just happy to be educated, is happy to, they have a zest for learning, they're excited, and they want to be in school in any form, but they still don't have that resource. So we really do need companies to kind of step up to the plate. And these companies, I'm not going to call out the big boys, but the companies that are on the other side of technology, we need you to really think about trying to underwrite the cost to educate the children of America. If we talk about children are our future, do you really mean that?
That's right.
We really need you to support, and we need you to educate our kids.
Yes. Well, Dion, those that are SNAP benefit recipients, they're able to get internet access here in the state of Illinois for $10 a month. But what you need to realize is that SNAP benefit Wi-Fi is not the top level Wi-Fi.
Thank you.
You lucky if two children can get on at the same time. Forbid there's a teenager in the house or somebody that wants to see a movie streaming, or maybe you don't have a data plan and you have to be on Wi-Fi for the data plan to be on your phone, whatever the case may be. It's really not. So what I'm looking at or thinking about is that these cities should really consider having Wi-Fi as a natural, almost like a natural resource. Like you need gas and electric. Wi-Fi would be something that would be common that everybody would be able to have and use. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you. And you have to consider, because of this state that none of us planned for, we all are in the same situation. Most of us work from home right now. There's some of us who go in the office some days a week, but we still work from home. That means that everybody is the wires, the systems, they're peaking, they're tight, they're at the max because everybody's on the internet at the same time now. That didn't happen before. Everybody is on it 24/7 now. And you can tell because our systems, our Wi-Fi signals are not as strong. We have more problems now. I can see it even on my phone. I'm having more issues just getting a basic signal to make a call sometimes. Something will drop in and you go, what is going on? And then you have to think, you have to remember, everybody is on their phone at the same time now.
Yes, you're right about that. Because Dion, let me tell you the funniest thing. The last time I had the issue and wasn't able to broadcast this show for about a week, They sent me a boss out, and the man was so wonderful, so nice. So now they have me on a plan. All of my devices that are on Wi-Fi, I can now pause them or turn them off at a certain time. Well, keep in mind though, I have an all smart home. Right. And so now half of that stuff I can't even use because you know I have to limit it and pause it, and I don't even think about it. So I've gone back to old-fashioned timers. You know, they got them all modern now with clocks on them and all that. So, you know, program it. So that's the way my house is still being smart. But you know, it's this Wi-Fi issue is a big thing. So we do want to. Yes, we want to wish all of our Chicago public school students a successful and wonderful school year. We really do. Our hearts go out to each and every one of you, because I can only imagine what it's like to get up, be in the house all day long with your parents or whoever the case may be. Thank you to all of you parents who are making it to be there with your children. I saw Attorney Stephen Mitchell on the local news tonight, and he's at home to assist with his children. His wife is a public school teacher. So she's busy. Yeah, but she's teaching. And they have two.
I was going to say she's doing double duty.
Right. Well, she can't even because she's busy teaching. You get what I'm saying? So her husband has now got to be their school teacher. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot involved with that. And then I just feel bad because there are a lot of children that didn't do anything when they were sitting in a classroom anyway. And at least the teacher motivated and inspired them and at least pushed them to get that, you know, F or D or whatever they got. But at least it was the teacher saying, come on, try it again, do what you need to do. We're going to have a whole group of young people that are going to be a hot mess come down the road because they're not going to do this at home learning I'm looking at a lot of pictures my friends are posting of their children and their facial expressions and their boredom. And you know, they'll be like, here we are, day 3, not a good day. You know, and so, so it makes you wonder, you know, it's going to be different. It really is going to be different, to say the least, you know?
You know what? And it's the whole thing is one of our bigger challenges now too, right? Because we know everybody would like to be in a classroom. We know this.
Yes.
So, you know, that constant argument between in class, out of class, I don't think anybody would want or choose to be out of a school.
No.
You're looking at all of the pieces. We're trying to keep people safe too and keep you alive and healthy. It's not that we don't want you to get an education. It's not that we don't want you to be around your friends or to be in someone's face. I think everybody wants that.
Yes.
Why?
We need it.
We need the option. It's like, I don't have a child. So my heart goes out to every single mom, every single dad, every single teacher out there, because this has got to be one of the world's biggest puzzles to solve. How do you educate a child in a virtual space?
Yep.
And
that's the fact. Look at what our viewer Debbie Green said. She said, "How about these universities? Bradley University just had an outbreak so bad over the weekend that now they're telling them that they have to stay in their dorms, stay with whoever they with, and don't move for 2 weeks." And they said that, you know, parties at all these universities across the country are off the chain. That they, you know, all kind of parties.
But let's be real, right? Everybody, let's be real. You're talking about young people between certain ages, right? You know, even though there's a pandemic, they're doing what they're used to doing. Even though some may want to be smart, but in their gut, as a human being, they want to be around their friends, right? They want to party. You know that. You know that. If you're going to allow kids to come back to school, which almost every university is doing, if you're allowing them to come back to school and come back to campus, I'm sorry, are you surprised? You can't be surprised, because that's one of the things that they want to do when they go to school. It's to be around their friends, it's to have fun. And sadly, they're not understanding the enormity of the situation. They're not understanding how serious this really is. That it's not, you can't do what you used to do.
Yes.
You can't.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're absolutely.
And I feel bad for them because they're not getting the experience they want. But it's not like it's not like we're saying, we want you to do, or, this is how it's going to be because we want it that way. Nobody wants you to live like this. None of us want to live like this.
Yeah, no, we don't. And here's something that is making me think that this is not going away anytime soon. More and more people are starting to make masks now. Designer companies, Saint John, there are a couple of other companies now that they've gotten into the full mass manufacturing business. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, like, you all are trying to cover this at every level. You're trying to make sure, and when you go to websites now, department stores, there's a face mask section now at department stores where you can order face mask and
I believe it.
Prices and all that and different materials, and they explain how this material will protect you, and so I don't know, it's a lot. It's
very true. And I think I told you this last time that I had purchased some masks from a company, Black-owned company in New Orleans, in St. Louis. This woman who was in the nursing profession, but she had chronic illness, and they weren't protecting them as they should. So she quit her job when the pandemic started and started making masks.
Nice.
And I found out about her from my girlfriend who lives in Vegas. She found out about her and bought some masks. I saw her mask and I said, you know what? I'm going to buy some masks. So I did. And you're right. That's exactly right.
Yes. All right. Well, with that being said, we want to remind you guys that we are in the midst of a global pandemic. We are still reminding everyone to please wear your mask, put your mask on whenever you can. Do that. Right. Stay masked up, stay safe. Where's your mask, Dion? All right. Hey, look, we do a mask fashion show every night. We do. We want to remind you guys to sanitize. It's important to sanitize. Do what you can to keep your hands clean. This is sanitizer, but hot water and soap will work very well.
Thank you.
Yes. Even
there's a bathroom outside of my door.
All of that. We want to remind you guys to social distance as much as you most possibly can. And you know what we say on this show? If you are not feeling well, what's our motto on this show? Keep your ass in the house.
Sorry.
Keep your ass in the house. I think everybody should be able to understand that, no matter what language.
I want to love you, but I have to love you from a distance.
Yes. Okay. All right. So we got the health and safety part out of that. So wait, Dion, I hear there's breaking news. Oh, there is breaking news.
What's the news?
Wait a minute. Somebody is saying that the Kardashian show is finally coming to an end.
Oh.
Honey.
That's all I need to do is applaud.
Honey. Heller. So it has been.
All I need to say is.
Let me do the proper intro. It has been announced today that Keeping Up with the Kardashians has the show is finally ending after what, 20 years or 14 seasons, 20 years? We've been watching heifers for 20 years. Oh, excuse my French, but yeah, have we?
20 years? I haven't been watching them, but someone has been watching them for 20 years. Yes, someone has. And I can honestly say, I spread nothing but joy, nothing but love. So I applaud them for using what they had, their skills, to fool people into watching them week after week about nothing. I applaud them. I really do. That was the biggest heist ever. I applaud them. I wish I could have thought of it.
Yes.
I wish I could have thought of it.
Right.
But, I applaud them. I have nothing against any one of them.
Do you know how much chaos and confusion that these women and that family has started? Do you know how many people, are killing themselves to have the butts like that, to look like them, to emulate them? I mean, look at Cole. I mean, not what's it, Kanye, Po Thing. He know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a lot with that. They did a lot of damage with that show as well, too. Now, you know what I'm saying?
We really don't want to. We really don't want to go there with the whole artificial pit parts conversation. We really just don't even want to go there. I don't want to hurt people's feelings with that conversation. I really don't.
Like they spent a weekend at Parts R Us. That's what,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, I just don't even want to go there with that conversation. Okay, yeah.
All right, my darling. Well, now that we broke that news, is it anything else we need to cover in hot topics and news? Our brother, yes, go ahead, darling.
I was gonna say if we continue along this Hollywood route, I didn't really want to. I wanted to go with a very nice point of the Pullman National Monument groundbreaking happening, right?
Yeah, go right ahead.
That was beautiful to see. But the one other thing that came up, which is not necessarily a big news story, but Dr. Dre and his wife Nicole Young, of course, they announced that they were getting divorced a couple months back. And she supposedly wants $2 million in spousal support. $2 million a month?
A month.
$2 million? A month. Okay. And a lot of us are working. We're not going to tell you how much we're working for, and you want $2 million. Okay. All righty.
So now let me ask you this real quick, Dion, because we do have to go on to our next guest in a few moments. But listen, what do you do with a $2 million a month allotment for yourself? So now,
that's truly what I was going to ask. That's truly what I was going to ask, because I try to be a frugal person. Anybody that knows me knows I love a deal. I love quality, but I love a deal. So I'm the biggest bargain shopper ever.
Who was your friend that went someplace and they had buy one, get one free on Lysol products the beginning of March? And who was your friend that damn near bought the whole shelf of the store out? And who was your friend that still has sprays and disinfectants?
Exactly.
Okay. Exactly. Go ahead, babe. Go ahead.
And the thing is, we're able to live fabulously, right? Because we choose to do things in a certain way where we're not being frivolous with our money, but you wouldn't know how much we're making, how little we're making. No. So I don't quite understand $2 million a month on what. And I don't know her life, but when there's so many people out here who are struggling, you want to squabble and try to get $2 million a month?
Honey, that's a whole nother show. Tomorrow night we talk about topics and trend, because baby, that's a whole. Me and you could probably talk an hour about that. I mean, just even if you break down dry cleaning, even if she bought everything at Whole Foods, you don't only buy what's on sale at Whole Foods, right?
Exactly.
If she bought everything at Whole Foods for the house, I just don't even get it. I don't. All right. So with that being said, thank you, Dion. Great job, my love. Hot Topic, Gossip, and Entertainment with Dion and I. As you guys all know, Dion Nicole Smith is my very special guest co-host. This is her fifth, whatever. She's been a guest co-host many different times. We just love and adore her. She's a ball of energy. But Dion is also the Director of Development for Illinois Medical District Guest House, a wonderful place that provides shelter for people who are dealing with long-term illnesses, life-threatening illnesses, and a place for their family. And I am so honored to be a part of a wonderful event that's coming up October 8th of this year, a virtual cocktail party, you guys. We're going to have a good time. And so, Dion, we're going to talk about the event a little bit later, but it's all about love winning. And that's what I think is the most crucial thing ever, is about love winning. And so give the people the web address real quick before we go to our next guest so they can start checking everything out.
Sure. So as Art said, it's a virtual cocktail party with IMD Guest House. Love always wins. We thought it was important to spread some love, some joy, to keep people inspired and optimistic during this period of time. So we want you to register. It is a free event, absolutely free. So go to lovewins.givesmart.com. Very easy to register. It's free to register. we actually are going to make our 50-50 raffle live tomorrow. So we're going to do a cash raffle. So $50 ticket, and you never know how big the pot will be. So whatever we raise, you get half of that. So we're going to do that, and we're going to, open that up to the masses tomorrow. But we want you to come. It's a free event. It's a way for you to see some really fun people. And I don't know if you want me to hold on saying some names.
Yeah, hold on to later. Okay. I'm just not the only person that'll be there. I'm not the only one. So it's running along the bottom of the screen. You guys do whatever you can to please register. It's free to register, and would love to have you guys as a part of this event. And I'm going to be off the air that night so that I can be a part of this event. So if you guys want to hang out with me on that evening, it's a Thursday, then you know where you can find me at this wonderful event. And a lot of celebrities I will be a part of this event. Well, it is actually Mental Health Awareness Month. And tonight we are honored to welcome a licensed clinical social worker who's going to talk to us about when life changes. As you guys all know, I'm a cancer survivor. It was a rocky and crazy journey during my diagnosis and just trying to get the healthiness and completion again. And I really wish I had a better mental health expert to help me out. So just to talk about the whole mental health aspect, blood cancer, people who are given information about, hey, you possibly could die, you're in stage 3, you're in stage 4. It's a little overwhelming for the mind to comprehend. And so Dion, I see her in the back room there. She looks friendly. I hope she's informative too. I really, really do.
I'm sure she will be.
Let me make sure I have this last name correct. It's Ali Vanesco. Did I get that right?
Vanesco. Yeah.
I did. Good evening. How are you, Ali?
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Hi, Ali.
Right, Ali?
Can you hear Art?
Can you hear me out? Huh?
Okay.
Okay, good. I got your last name correct, right?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Well, Ali, it's an honor and a pleasure to have you here with us this evening. And with this being Mental Health Awareness Week, and a lot of people are given the diagnosis of it's stage 3 cancer, it's stage 4, you may or may not survive. That's a lot for the mental to take in. And so what advice would you like to help us with tonight to better understand?
Well, I think so I worked in the cancer center for several years. And before that, I worked in hospice and palliative care. So getting news like that is devastating. And no matter what stage somebody is diagnosed, it is devastating for that individual. It's devastating for the family. I think that really knowing who your team is, your treatment team is, that's such a huge piece of it. Who is there? Who is going to be helping you along the way?
Mm-hmm.
Get connected with a social worker, because it's not just the mental health; it's the whole psychosocial picture. The whole psychosocial cycle is what we look at. So financially, it's a burden. I love IMD Guest House. It's been a lifesaver for so many patients who they're coming in from all over to get treatment, and finding a place to stay, that's part of the financial burden. So just a plug for October's event.
That's right. Yes.
Thank you, Ali. Yes.
But there is a link with physical health and mental health. And so mental health can make physical health worse. It can speed up any decline. So we always look at what is going on psychosocially. More and more cancer centers have that psychosocial oncology, where people can have an opportunity to talk with a licensed therapist.
Oh, I think that's a good idea. I really, really do. Because a lot of people, once they hear the diagnosis, they kind of go inward to themselves and I guess try to solve and fix a lot of the problems themselves. I'll be first to admit that really happened when I was diagnosed. And just trying to get to a good mental health expert is what's so important. Allie, what would you advise people on when selecting the right mental health expert? You know, how to go about that process?
There's so many avenues to try to find somebody. There's also so many organizations that offer assistance specifically for people dealing with cancer. Gilda's Club is one of them, and they have a lot of support groups. Also located in Hinsdale, there's the Wellness House, and they have a lot of support groups and counseling, and things are virtual, so it doesn't matter where you live now. As you know, as long as you have access to virtual, that's the gift of this time, and hopefully will, you know, the access that people have now will continue beyond this time.
I'm a huge fan of Wellness House. I attended their gala last year, and they do some incredible work. They've also opened up a location in the West Lawndale area, if I'm not mistaken, not far from the county hospital. And they do a lot of just great outreach. I'm going to have to reach out to them and have them on this show as well, too. But I just love them. They, I had never been to a gala where they raised so much money so fast.
Wow.
Dion, I really felt like the brokest dude in the room that night. Right. You know, those people, they do a great job. And what I love is they give it back through programming and helping people and just all of that. Dion, do you have a question for Allie?
Allie, I'm just curious. And I know, your focus is on dealing with that social work piece and really helping people navigate. But for those that are curious, are there different types of blood cancer? Since Art mentioned that it was Blood Cancer Awareness Month, are there different types?
There are different types of blood cancers, and I can't really go into the specifics.
Okay.
But yeah, there are different types of blood cancers.
Is the most, I guess, well-known leukemia? Is that the most well-known, or you think?
Yeah, I would say that's the most well-known.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. I just wondered with it. I know you're at Rush. So I wonder how big is your team? Because I know Rush is a world-renowned, university medical center. I can't imagine how many people you actually see. Like, how big is your caseload?
It is huge. So the way that we have 4 social workers total in the center. And I should say I work with caregivers now.
Okay.
But there are 4 social workers in the cancer center. And then there's nurse navigators. There's obviously your oncologists, the nurses in the infusion areas. The team is really big, but I would say that the patients have most of the contact with the nurse navigators. That's like their direct link to the oncologist. And then social workers would get referrals anywhere from, suicidal ideation. There's a lot of that in the cancer center. Health needs, housing, domestic violence concerns, There's so many things that go into it that, unfortunately, there's a lot of domestic violence concerns work in the cancer center, because you have people who, they lost their job. They're dependent on their spouse for finances, so they can't leave. They feel like they can't leave, Oh
my God. I think about that now with what's going on with, COVID. And we've seen these cases, and it just breaks my heart because I unfortunately heard about a case recently, and I'm not going to go into detail, of a beautiful soul who took their own life. And, they were so overwhelmed and depressed by dealing with COVID patients.
Yeah.
And it just broke my heart. It broke my heart because you just wondered if that person felt like they had someone to talk to, even within, the work environment, if there was someone that they could just reach out to. And I don't know, because this person wasn't even that old. this person wasn't even over 30. And it broke my heart to hear that, you know?
Yeah.
It's a tough time right now.
It really is. It really is. I don't know. It's overwhelming. And I can only imagine, Art, what you went through when you did get your diagnosis. And I mean, obviously I've known you for a long time, but when you know, I can only imagine mentally what you were dealing with when you got that.
Well, you know, Dion, I share my story. I shared a huge part of it in Cancer Wellness Magazine,
Right.
You know, Wellness House. I try to do my very best because my story is different from others. First of all, I was a Black man diagnosed with a rare form of leukemia because, as you were asking Allie, there are many forms of leukemia, many forms of blood cancers. In my situation, when I was diagnosed, I had contacted an organization to kind of get me a mentor, someone to talk to, someone to help me navigate my way through this. And unfortunately, they could not find me another Black man in my age range.
Wow.
The only person that they could find me was a very nice gentleman in Rhode Island. So imagine he's in Rhode Island, I'm in Chicago in the hood. So right there, honey, that's two different worlds to begin with. You know what I'm saying? That's almost like saying, South side of Chicago compared to Rhode Island. So his life was, I just had, I did some yoga and I just had some yogurt and I'm, chilling on my porch and I'm like, oh Lord, I just think I heard gunshots. So, I mean, it's two different dynamics. And that's what made me want to start a support group for Black men that are going through cancer battles. And that's my focus to move forward to do that. Because a lot of times, people need someone to talk to. It's beautiful to have someone like Allie or any other social worker or therapist or somebody. But, when you can call somebody much like our next guest is coming up in a little bit and be like, hey, brother, how did you feel after that treatment? Has it taken all your energy away? Has it taken all your appetite away? And so no, it was not an easy road. And then keep in mind, I was on $10,000 a month medicine and my copay is $900 a month. So yeah, it was a really rough time for me. And so somebody like Allie and anybody who's in mental health, they're crucial to be able to keep you from losing it. And Allie, I'm so glad that you talked about the suicidal point, because I do know several people who have contemplated it because of their cancer diagnosis. So
the biggest thing one of the biggest things that I refer people to is support groups, because it's important, like you said, to have somebody with that experience that is so powerful. And, you hear the C word and your mind just goes places.
Yeah.
So to be able to connect with somebody who has been through it, is going through it, that is so valuable. I know Immerman is another organization I would refer to. So
yes, I know Johnny Immerman very well. He's a wonderful guy. I just love him and have done many things with him. And, don't get me wrong. It was just one of those things where I just wanted to talk to another brother about having the same type of cancer. You get what I'm saying? When you're a young Black man at the time in your prime, you want to, I was told that I would never have any hair anymore. You want to find out things, that this person has gone through. And God did bless me enough when I had my radio show that I did have a young man. His mom and I went to high school together, and he was actually diagnosed with the same type of leukemia. And I had a chance to meet and talk with him and be able to offer him any advice that he needed, because he was very young. Matter of fact, he had been on Jeopardy. He's a smart young man, very smart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Adam, you said you deal with caregivers.
Yeah, that's a new thing. That ought to be important too, to talk to those.
I was just gonna say that, to me, that's key. And I'm coming from the standpoint of, I guess, being a caregiver for a parent, or having to be a caregiver for, parents. And when my dad was ill for 2 years and 4 months, my mom was right there 24/7. But of course, I was helping a lot. And then she unfortunately had a stroke last year. So then it was, okay, I got to step up to the plate and do everything for her like she did for my father. And thankfully, she's in a better place. And, you know, in terms of she's, you know, able to live on her own and do everything. And you know, I'm there as a regular supportive daughter. But I think about that. That's a whole nother can of worms when you talk about being a caregiver.
And just how to navigate the care. And a lot of the caregivers I work with are caring for a loved one who has a cancer diagnosis, you know, figuring out the next steps, the home care needs. A lot of cancer patients will come home with a PIC line and they have to learn to flush the PIC line and they don't know exactly how to help. And so being able to connect them with the support to get the education.
Do you deal with, I'm curious, do you deal with people who are really in denial?
Yeah, there are quite a few people who are in denial. And that's a challenge. You just have to work with them where they're at and work around that. Eventually they'll get there.
Yeah. The reason why I asked that was because, you know, not to put it on out there, but my aunt, who I adored, who's not here anymore, she never said that she had cancer, but I knew she had to be dealing with some kind of treatment because she had a port in her chest. But she never said verbally, like, okay, she just never said it. And she obviously was a positive person. So I really feel like she just wanted to hold on to the positivity with, you know, as much as possible. And she did whatever she needed to do, but that's not something that ever came out of her mouth. She never said it. And I just always thought about that.
Yeah, well, denial is a coping mechanism.
Yeah. Right. And especially Art, you know, with you being so honest, well, I can't even say honest, just open and willing to share your story because you know that it will be, you know, a blessing to someone else. I also look at her and the way that she handled it. That was her choice. And we loved her because she was positive. She was always positive about it. And I loved her for that. And she just never gave it life, I suppose. She never spoke about it. But, you know, you knew, but she never did. So, you know, two sides of the same coin. You know, everybody deals with things in their own way.
Well, last week here on the show, we had a conversation about whether or not to reveal your cancer diagnosis to people or keep it to yourself. And this was in response to the death of actor Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick had been battling for a number of years, finished and starred in some of the most amazing movies ever, iconic films at this point. And he never uttered a word to anyone that he was going through his prostate cancer or his colon cancer battle. And so that was the big debate on the show last Tuesday night, this time, whether or not do you actually discuss it with people. And I admitted on the show last week that I have some regrets of ever discussing my diagnosis in the beginning because of the way I was treated, the way that people really don't step up to the plate like you think that they really should. And I think now more than ever, it's more of a blessing that I share the testimony to be able to guide people now so that their journey is smoother than what my journey was for. So I don't think that things happen out of spite. I think everything happens for a reason. And I appreciate you saying about me being honest and open. I feel like I should be selling used cars. I really should. I feel like I should have a lot somewhere. Honest and open car dealership. Right.
That should be your moniker.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Dion. I love you so much for that. In closing, is there anything else we want to ask Allie or talk to Allie about? And then let's, sew it up, Allie. I want you to tell people, don't be afraid to go out and seek mental health if they need it. I think it's the best thing ever. I think it's really refreshing, and it is something that everybody should really think about. Dion, go ahead, and then we'll let Allie close out.
I was just going to say, Allie, what I know you kind of hit on it moments ago, but what is that point? What is that starting point usually that people deal with when they're in this place and when you're dealing with the caregiver? What is that first piece that they're dealing with you for?
It's really across the board.
Okay.
Everybody's so different and so unique. And where they start, some people it's some people it's they don't know what to do with all of their options, with all of their treatment options. Some people are at the end of the road and they're figuring out what to do next.
Mm-hmm.
How to move forward with if they're going into hospice, how to move forward, supporting families with that choice too.
Mm.
It's so across the board. Okay. There's so many reasons when people come into contact with a social worker. But I think that, having that help to navigate all of the challenges that you face across the spectrum along your journey is really helpful. But yes, now more than ever, mental health is so important, and everything that's going on, people who are already isolated. I mean, you have somebody with cancer who they're immunocompromised, and so that leads to more isolation, and it's just a snowball effect.
Right.
Yes.
But I think even if there's so much value to therapy that everybody can benefit from.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree. Yeah,
I do. I think it's incredible. I really, really do. Well, Allie, thank you so very much for taking time out of your evening. Look, Allie, I'm glad it was a rainy night, so we weren't ruining anything for you. I'm so right. If it had been a sunny night, I'd have been like, "Oh Lord, we made us stay in the house." Well, don't forget, Allie, wear your mask, sanitize, keep social distance. Important, Allie, thank you so very much for what you do. It's helping people, and really, if your mental is not right, then the rest of you is not right either. So God bless you for the mission that you're on.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much. All right, have a great night, Allie. That was great. That was beautiful, Dion. See there, that's how that works. See,
that's
great. I feel better now. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I got stuff off of me, huh?
I love it. And the great thing is that Allie, with IMD Guest House, she works for Rush, and Rush is one of our hospital partners. And the beautiful thing too is Allie is actually the sister of one of my colleagues. So that is how we got to Allie, was through her sister Joni, who's my counterpart, who's over operations. Yeah. So, it's always so great to just have people who are connected, who are close, that you can pull on and help other people with those resources. That's important.
Yes, it is. That was a great segment. She did a good job on that, and I'm very pleased. And Rush Hospital has a new cancer center too, right?
I'm not going to sit here and speak on that. Maybe Adam will pipe in. I will not.
I think they're building a new cancer center. I think they are.
Yeah, they have a lot going on. They have a lot going on. I mean, they're they are world renowned, and I love them. I love them because they are a university, a medical center. So you're talking about learning and teaching and education and trying to look at what will make an impact for generations to come. So just like, and I'm not going to sit here and just talk about that, because our other partner, who we've just heard on the news recently too, UI Health, they're amazing. And, the Payton family, created that that liver cancer center there. So, I mean, there's so many amazing things that they have going on at UI Health, and we're happy to be on their campus. So, you know, there's so much good. There's so much good. And UFC is doing their thing, University of Chicago Medicine.
Let me go back to the breaking news headsets. One of my reliable sources, they're building a new building for ambulatory care, and there will be a brand new cancer center. And that came from one of my informants. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
I love it.
Congratulations to Rush Hospital. Yes.
That's great. That's wonderful.
Yes. All right. Well, it's Give Back Tuesday on the show. You know, each and every Tuesday, we give back, whether it's an organization, a group of people who are doing things. Tuesday night is all about how we can make a better life for people. You know, on this show, each and every night, we give as much free advice as we most possibly can that the law will allow us to give. But it's all about love, happiness, and good energy. For those of you all that are just joining us, welcome to the show. Do me a favor, go over to YouTube and hit the subscribe button for The Real Chat Daddy Show. It is free. All I need for you to do is follow the show. The more people who follow the show, bigger and better the show will become. And we really are greatly appreciative of those who have subscribed so far. We also have a Facebook page, The Real Chat Daddy Show. If you go there and like that page, we'd appreciate it. You can always start a watch party. You can always share the broadcast every night. And you can always go back and watch encore shows, as well as start a watch party or share the encore shows with your friends and family. Tonight, we've given away a lot of valuable information about your mental wellness when it comes to an illness. And Allie did a great job, first time on the show with us. So we'll have to have her back today. She did a beautiful job.
Yes, and I have a watch party on my Facebook page, you all, so you can go right there and watch the show.
Is you got it? Honey, you did a little Shaka Khan there. You did a little Shaka Khan.
Right.
You did.
Right.
I thought you was gonna say sweet thing. I thought that's what you was gonna say. That's just in my mind, maybe in my mind. As you guys all know, my very special guest co-host is no stranger here with us. She's Dion Nicole Smith. Not only is she beautiful, she's smart, she's talented. She is the director of engagement. Is it engagement and what is it, darling?
You're making up titles for me. I love it. Director of Development. But that
I promote
engagement.
Okay, yeah. You know, I promote more people than any employer in the world. So just know that. I promote more people than any employer in the world. I almost sound like our current president, don't I? Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, but I give people all kind of titles. I'd be like, yeah, you the head so-and-so in charge. Take it.
I love it. I love it.
Well, Dion, I'm excited. We have a big gala coming up October 8th, correct?
Yep. In 1 month. That's right. Our virtual cocktail party.
Yes.
And you don't have to have a real cocktail. You can have a mocktail. Just join us.
Yes, very good.
Have some healthy tea.
Yeah, very good. All right. Well, our last segment this evening is to actually talk about the Illinois Medical District Guest House and some of the wonderful services that they provide. We actually will hear a testimony from a gentleman who is not only a dear friend of mine, but he is also a Chicago icon. He's quite a singer, an event promoter for many years. If any of you all remember the talent shows at the Cotton Club, Big Shug was the gentleman who greeted you at the door. He got the show started, and hell, he might even go behind the bar and mix you a drink. That's the type of guy he was, and that's the guy I will always remember. Just a great guy. Also joining us tonight is the head gentleman in charge over at the Illinois Medical District Guest House, Mr. Adam Hellman. He was here with us last week. He's back today. And I'm excited to welcome Chris to the show. This is just really wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome my dear friend, singer, promoter, all-around great guy, dad, two-time cancer survivor and transplant recipient, my brother and friend, Mr. Christopher Big Shug Moore. How are you, sir? Are you there?
We
can't hear you. Try it again.
Unmute. You're on mute.
Wait, I got him muted. That's me. I ain't want him breathing too loud. I got him. Suge, you there?
I'm here.
Hey.
All right.
What's going on, my friend? Haven't seen you in a minute.
I know you look great, my friend. How's everything?
Hey, man, God is still in the blessing business. That's all I got to say. He sits high and he looks low.
Look, that voice has not changed at all, brother. You still singing?
Well, you know what? It's funny you mentioned that. I'll be there in about 2 weeks to perform at an event on the 20th of September. I'll be gracing the stage with a couple of bands out in Harvey. We're doing a rebuilding of Harvey, trying to get some money and things going back on in there. So yeah, I'll be blowing a couple tunes back then. Yes, sir.
Really? Yes, sir. Well, that voice is golden. You used to have the Cotton Club packed every night. If people wanted to get up on that microphone and do something, you were the man that they had to see and talk to. And I'm just so glad that God has brought you this far and you look as great as you do. But brother, you really do have a journey that you want to share with my audience tonight, correct?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, sir. And those are some good old days back in the Cotton Club, man. And good thing about that is no matter what, if you had talent or not, I made you feel like you was worth $1 million getting up on that stage, because it takes a lot to walk down that aisle to get up on that stage and sing with a band in front of all those people.
Yeah. Yes, right. at the famed Cotton Club. You know, New York's famous Cotton Club was, of course, the pinnacle of it all. But then Chicago's famed Cotton Club came in second. It's great talent that came through there. Chris, who were some of the people? Bernie Mac and you name it. These people came through the Cotton Club.
Yeah, Bernie Mac. That's when Michael Jordan first got here. Bernie Mac, R. Kelly, all the guys that play for the Bulls. I mean,
yeah.
Russian, it was, you know, and the show that we have was on a Monday night, so a lot of times there'd be a lot of trade shows going on the weekend, so people would stay over on a Monday just to come to the show. And it was actually like it was the Saturday night on a Monday night. You couldn't get in the place. You could not get in.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Well, Chris, it's so good to have you here with us tonight. I'm going to bring Adam in because, Chris, I'm going to tell you just how small of a world this is. Dion was the guest co-host. Adam was a guest. Adam and I met for the first time virtually. We're just talking like we're talking now. And your name popped up. And I said, as in Houston, Chris Moore? And everybody kind of froze. And I said, oh, I know him very well. That's a dear friend of mine. I said, oh, my goodness. And that's how this all came about, that we would promise to have this reunion, that we would talk about your journey. You and I spoke earlier today, and you and I are going to do just a whole separate show on Black men and the cancer struggle and battle. But tonight we're here to talk about someplace that really provided you amazing refuge during your transplant, correct?
Amazing. I'm talking about the IMD Guest House. Didn't even know it existed. I don't even know what. I don't even remember how I even found out about it, but whoever that angel was that told me, I'm so glad that they did, because I live in Houston, Texas. In fact, it didn't rain down here today, Art, so you kept me in the house. I could have been out, but anyway.
No, stay in the house. Stay in the house.
Okay, I got my mask on. I got my sanitizer. I got everything that I need right here.
Okay.
But coming all the way from Houston, you know, you didn't want to ask relatives or friends, or you didn't have finances to stay in a hotel. You want to kind of put that burden on anybody anyway. So the Lord just kind of blessed, and it just manifested in a way that like I said, I still don't even know how I got there. But when I got there, it was completely incredible. It was walking distance to all my appointments. After my transplant, I was able to, I was taking Ubers and Lyfts, and they was only charging me like $2 and $3 to get there. I said, well, I get well enough, I'll be able to walk to all my appointments. But it was a beautiful place, man. They fed you, they took care of you. You didn't have any worries. You didn't have to pay no light bill, had to pay no gas bill. They fed you on Thursdays and fed you on Wednesdays. And man, the beds were comfy. They came and clean your room. They changed your sheets. They wash. And downstairs in the basement, you can wash for free the whole time you there. Just take your stuff down there, get you some detergent. If you don't have detergent, they got a closet full of things to help you on your journey. So whoever sat down and thought about this process, man, had it covered from top to bottom. And I'm so grateful to be able to speak about it and to be able to go. And every time I have to come back for an appointment there, that's why I stay at the guest house.
Wow, that is so.
I appreciate you saying that, Chris, because we speak so highly of you here, because you're just such an amazing advocate. And although you shared how much you love us, can you just tell people how amazing your transplant story is?
Well, hold on. Bring Adam in before he starts crying in the green room. We want to see his tears, on camera. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. The head man in charge over at the Illinois Medical District Guest House, the one and only Mr. Adam Hellman. How are you, sir? There he is. How you doing, Adam? Hey, Adam.
Doing great. Hey, Chris, how are you?
What's happening, my friend? How are you today?
Terrific. Sound great still. Art, great to see you. Thank you for having me back. And Dion,
thank you,
great to see you all the time, and it's great to be on with you too.
Well, yeah, Adam, I didn't want him to share this beautiful story and you back in the green room behind the scenes dabbing your tears. So I thought we would all cry.
And I'll start the water.
Yeah, it helps my ratings if we all cry publicly. Yeah, so it works. Yes, thank you. Dion asked you a very powerful question, Chris, and I would love for you to share your journey of what brought you to Guest House and your critical stages that you went through.
Well, you spoke about her last week, I believe. Monica Fox, a good friend of mine. I had just transferred. I just moved from Atlanta to Houston, and she had just celebrated her first year of transplant. And she called me around Thanksgiving time. She was like, Shug, what you doing about transplant? What you doing about transplant? I was like, girl, I can't even spell transplant. I don't even know what you're talking about. Because when I was in Atlanta, they told me that I couldn't have a transplant because I had a major issue with my bladder from the 2 times that I had cancer. So they told me I had to wait till bladder reconstruction became something more popular in order for me to get a transplant. So I wasn't even thinking about transplant. Monica Fox jumped on me and said, listen, you need to come to the hospital where I had mine at. Dr. Benedetti is the man. He will see you. He will talk to you. I said, ain't no doctor ever talking to me about nothing. I'm somebody off the street. But Dr. Benedetti called me and told me he wanted to see me in Chicago. And he wanted me to come in and sit down with him. We was going to put together a plan to get a transplant. Now, I hadn't even thought about transplant. But 2 years prior to that, I had a reunion with my high school football buddies from Thornton High School, class of 83. We were getting together at Aurelio's out in Homewood. I flew in for that, and we had, everybody came around the shop stories and told about their family, how many kids they had and everything. And then at the end, they got to me, and they asked me what was going on. I told them I had been on dialysis for years, and I was looking for somebody. I was looking for a kidney. So one of my football teammates, a guy named Tom Sweet, pulled me to the side. He said, listen, man, when you're ready to get that transplant, you call me and let me know. Now, we have been drinking beer and eating pizza, so I don't know whether it was the alcohol or whatever. So I said, okay, whatever, Tom, whatever. And the crazy thing about it, Tom is Caucasian. I'm African-American. So I was like, that really ain't going to work, but okay. But when Monica Fox got the ball rolling and started moving things along, I reached out to Tom, said, Tom, listen, man, I'm coming back to Chicago. I'm on I'm trying to get a transplant. Were you serious when you told me that? He was like, man, most definitely. I already talked about the wife and everything. We all good. I was like, what? I said, cool. You in the Chicagoland area. I'm flying in from Houston. They're going to have you go through a series of tests. I'm going to go through a series of tests. Let's get together. Let's make it happen. So that manifested. I ended up staying at the guest house because coming from out of town, they supplied me with a 2-bedroom because I was going to need a caretaker after I had a transplant, as opposed to having a 1-bedroom. I got a 2-bedroom right on the corner so I could watch the snow come down during the wintertime. But anyway, Tom went through all his series of ins and outs and tests and everything that he had to do. And I was flying back and forth. And we had chose a day. He said, Chris, my daughter is having her volleyball season. I don't want to miss anything. I go to videotape the games. Let's choose a date. I said, okay, fine. We chose the date on November 12th. 2 weeks prior to that, I get a call from the hospital. The hospital said, well, listen, Mr. Moore, We need to get a hold of Mr. Sweet. And I immediately thought it was a problem. You know how the devil just throws stuff up on you and you get all good. I was all choked up, thought I was going to tell me that I couldn't get a transplant. He said, no, we have an option that we would like to bring to life. There's another family where Tom, who's your donor, is a better donor for the dad. And then the son, who is not a match for the dad, is a better donor for you. It's called a swap. What you want to do? I was like, okay, well, let me call Tom and see if he's down with the program. Get Tom on the line. Tom said, man, absolutely. He said, are you getting the kidney out of this? I said, yeah. He said, we could do it 15, 20, 30 times. It don't matter. Let's just make it happen. So now here's the twist of the plot. We all show up at the hospital on November 12th, 5 o'clock a.m. In fact, the lights wasn't even on yet. We all sitting out there. It's me and Monica Fox. She came and picked me up from the IMD Guest House, which is right around the corner. She said, you should not go to the hospital alone. I said, okay, cool. So she picked me up and she stayed with me until it was time to go in the back. Tom and his wife and kids came and they're there. And then we look across the hospital and there's a Hispanic family sitting over there. And it's kind of funny because the guy who the son had on some gym shoes that I own personally, some orange Jordans. And I was thinking, nah, that can't be the family, because they never told me what nationality or anything. But just so happens that was the family. My man Pedro was the dad, and Louis was the son. So Louis, they called Pedro and they called Tom back first. And me and Louis are sitting out there just waiting to see what was going to happen. So it just blossomed into something beautiful. So now you got a Caucasian family, you got an African-American family, and you got a Black family, all connected at the hip for the rest of our lives.
Wow.
And that's because, I know, right? Isn't that crazy? And with all the racial discrimination and all that stuff that's going on in the land, I know there's still some good happening. And it went like clockwork. Nobody had any problems. It went smooth. I remember now the crazy thing, I remember looking at the clock when they gave me my little joy juice to put me to sleep. It was 11:15 a.m. on a Monday. I woke up Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock. They said they had to intubate me and all that kind of stuff. They didn't tell me about that, but they had to intubate me. They had me locked up and everything. But when Dr. Benedetti came and shook my hand and said, man, this brother's strong. He's breathing on his own. It's going down, man. It was the best day of my life. And I still talk to Tom and I still talk to Louis every couple of weeks just to check in and see how they're doing.
I love it. This is the most beautiful story ever. Just really a beautiful story. I don't even know, where to begin. Adam, this story is not uncommon. I mean, this is a beautiful story because of all the plots and twists. But I'm sure, Adam, you deal with a lot of different families who have interesting stories. You guys were telling me about the Siberia story, the people coming from other places. Adam, you want to talk more about that?
Yeah. So, the thing about this is that when people get sick, and Art, a lot about this from your own personal experience now, that no one knows what the road ahead is going to be. And so people kind of just, they kind of get stuck or they think, well, my treatment's going to go exactly in a straight line, and it almost never does because there's only so much beforehand. So it is sort of like, to me, I think the most important thing is that if you need help, you ask for it. And this kind of goes back to what Allie was talking about in the last segment, that it's a hard experience. People often feel alone. Chris was really fortunate that his son came and stayed with him for a long time, helped him out for a long time. But it's important to have people in your life, and sometimes you might need help outside of your immediate circle, and it's important to know that you can reach out, because from the mental health standpoint, it's just really, really important to be able to admit that you need help. It doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're strong enough to say, you know what, I need someone to come through to help me out, because I've just, this is more than I can take right now on my own.
That's right.
Mm. Oh my God, just a beautiful story in many different ways. Chris, I love how you explain, all of the wonderful things that they provide at IMD House, Guest House. just what would you most want people to know about that place? Because you meet people from all walks of life, but the other part of that is most of these people are so ill that really all you can do is offer a word of comfort to them. What was it like just being there in the guest house?
On the guest house, on Thursday nights after dinner. Now, let me let you understand. On Wednesday mornings, they had people that donated time from different agencies that would come in and make anybody who wanted to have breakfast every Wednesday morning. And then the same thing happened on Thursday nights. So companies, Bubblegum Shrimp, all these different companies would come in and cook and fellowship with us. But then after that, they were allowing us to stay in, and that's how we got to meet people. We got a chance to play checkers. We did arts and crafts. We made Christmas cards. We did all kinds of stuff. So you can talk to the person across the table. Now, I met so many people that had so many different issues. I just try to make everybody laugh, try to make everybody have a good time, try to make not think about what's going on. The biggest thing that I would want them to know, the people to know about the guest house is it doesn't matter what walk of life you're from, doesn't matter what your nationality is, they're going to open the doors to you and receive you with open arms and give you a hug and make sure you have everything you need. Now, I didn't even tell you about every week there's a new gift bag on your door. When you come back from your doctor's appointment, it's a gift bag on your door full of all kinds of stuff that kids in the neighboring schools made, and candy and cough drops and hand sanitizer. Well, we didn't need masks back then, but hand sanitizer and stuff, whatever you need, cookies, freshly baked cookies. People were coming in on the weekends and making cookies. It just gave you every element of being at home. It was like you're home away from home, and you didn't have any worries while you were there. Amazing.
That is
Totally.
It's such a blessing. It really, really is. I'm just so happy to hear this, and this does me even more good now that I'm behind this mission and cause to help out. That's just a beautiful testimony. Dion, what else you want to add to this?
Well, I was just going to say, I would love for Adam just to share how we've had to shift our model a little bit in this new age that we're dealing with, because as much as we love what we do, we've also had to deal with the realities of the pandemic. So, Adam, can you share a little bit about how we're shifting in this time?
Yeah, absolutely. What Chris was talking about, the community room, is something that we can't quite do the same way we used to. So we used to be able to bring in 20 or 30 people to sit together and have dinner all together in one room on a Thursday night or on a Wednesday morning to have breakfast. And that, just because of COVID, and especially with some of the folks who stay with us, because their immune systems are a little bit restricted from medication, we can't really bring everybody together as much as we'd like, but we still have volunteers who come in and put together gift bags for people. So that we still do. We have people come in and it's great. Volunteers will come in and they'll write these encouragement cards for the guests. And, they won't know the person they're giving the card to, but they'll know it's somebody who really needs some help. And so it's wonderful that they do that. We have groups now that are coming in and putting together to-go breakfast bags. So they'll hang them on people's doors early in the morning, so that when folks want to get something to eat before they have to go to the hospital, that they'll be able to get that. So we're doing that. We're working on some virtual bingo activities, things like that, as ways to kind of get some community going. We're really trying to, and we're open to new ideas for this too. So, Art, if you or anybody who's listening in Chat Daddy Land right now has ideas about things we can do for our guests, we'd love to know, because the community, the sense of community, is so much a part of what we do and what we want to do for people. One of the things that I enjoyed a lot, and this is actually one of the first times I talked with Chris for any amount of time, was at the holidays, like on Christmas, we would serve a Christmas dinner. And Chris came down, he had his operation in November, and on Christmas Day, we had a Christmas dinner and, having Easter dinner. So doing things for people when they're away from home around the holidays, that's not that far away now. So we want to keep thinking about ways to do things for the people who are here, because who wants to be spend the holidays alone?
Yes,
And sometimes they can't be around others. So whatever we could do to help that.
That's
and
so
one
beautiful.
thing I was going to also share too with that too, Adam, and I'm not sure if we mentioned this before too, Art, is that because the pandemic has shifted the way we think about everything, you have so many valuable medical professionals that need somewhere to stay too,
right,
that are not trying to go home to infect their families. So we've been housing medical professionals too, who've been visiting, actually put in time and really put their lives on the line to save other people. And we've been doing that free of charge. So that's a huge gift that we're able to give. And we're really proud that we've been able to do that. And it's just another way for us to just give and to provide that sense of care, especially to those who are giving of themselves. We also have been trying to make sure they know that we support you, that we're here for you. And if you need us, we're here.
Mm-hmm. Well, I do. I think it's a wonderful thing. This is an effort that, there are so many people who are being affected right now because of COVID-19, and we get it. But when I hear a testimony such as Chris's testimony, and to know his backstory, know what his journey has been, he and I are looking forward to having a wonderful conversation, just talking about Black men being diagnosed with cancer and what we go through. A lot of times our experience is not the same as other people due to a lot of different reasons, but to know that, you all have been here being so supportive, not having my friend to worry about anything, and just getting him back to 100% healthy, whole, and complete. I'm just honored. I really am. I'm almost mad, Chris, I didn't live somewhere else. I had to come back to my luxurious place every day. Look, Chris, I didn't live somewhere else. Right.
Hey, but you know what, Art? I'm glad you actually said that. So I want your viewers to know that it doesn't matter where you live, because some people, maybe it's too much of a stress or a challenge to go. And this is not, maybe Rush or UI Health is not around the corner for them. So if they live far south or in south suburbs, maybe they would need IMD Guest House. Maybe it would be, maybe they would be able to use our services because it's just too much for them to travel. So we want to make sure that people know you can come here wherever you are. If you're a resident of the city, if you live in the state, if you live in the Midwest, if you live anywhere in the country or the world, if you need our support and you're using one of our partner hospitals, come to us. We'll help you.
Can I tell a quick story about that? So we had a guest who, her family was originally from Mexico, and she also had a rare form of leukemia. She was able to get into a trial at University of Chicago for some experimental medication, and she had some friends in Skokie. And so she went up there to stay in Skokie, and the U of C said, we're happy to help you out, but we want you to be within 45 minutes of the hospital. So on a perfect day in Chicago, when the wind is blowing right and the sun is out, right, you can get from Skokie to Hyde Park in 45 minutes. And all of us know there aren't that many perfect days in Chicago. So she ended up staying here with us for a long time. And, the wonderful thing is the treatment worked for her. And she is, she's been cancer free now. So it was a wonderful thing. But it's that just what Dion was saying, which is that, even if you live in the area, in the city or in a suburb, it might not be that conducive for your treatment to commute back and forth every day. And so that's what's really, so we do definitely work with local folks and people.
Very good. I'm glad to hear that. Well, if anything ever changes in my life situation, guess where I'm checking into? Because that is just, it's wonderful. It really, really is. I'm just so happy to know that. Well, let me start off by saying, ladies and gentlemen, I need for you guys to join us Thursday, October 8th, 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for a virtual cocktail party. You guys know I love happy hour. I'm all about the cocktails and the hors d'oeuvres, but we're in the midst of a global pandemic right now, and so we're doing a virtual cocktail party. But this virtual cocktail party has a lot of different celebrities who will be joining us for the evening. Two legendary comic geniuses will be joining us, Mr. George Wendt. As you guys all know, that is Norm from the TV show Cheers, and they recently just closed the Cheers bar in Boston, so it'll be really good to see him. We also have Mr. Tim Kazurinsky, better known for his being a cast member of Saturday Night Live, also from those very funny Police Academy movies that we all love and adore. We also have a former Chicago Bears, Mr. Charles Peanut Tillman will be a part of this, and he and his wife had some struggles with their child many years ago, and they're very supportive of anything that is of health advocacy, so we're honored. And last but not least, fashion designer, master chef, fan favorite Tommy Walton, and that's just to name a few people, honey. That's not everybody now. I'm sure more people will join this free virtual event. I'm going to be fabulous that evening. Dion, tell us about some of the other accoutrements that will be a part of this wonderful event. You know they're called accoutrements, right?
Yes, thank you very much, Art. I appreciate it.
Tell us about the accoutrements, darling.
So we're excited because we really want to spread some love that evening. So we're going to have some fun, and we're going to have some fun mixology segments, and our own Adam is going to help teach you how to make, what drink was that? What are you going to do at Carnival? You're going to go there and
learn the cotton candy martini.
See, cotton candy martini.
Adam, don't look like Adam, something does not look like cotton candy martini kind of guy, but I like it. I love it.
And we also are going to teach you how to make a mojito too at Carnival. So that's going to be fun. And, we're going to unveil we want people to buy those raffle tickets tomorrow. We're going to open that up. We're doing a 50-50 raffle. So that'll be a fun way to raise some money, but also give you some money too. So $50 a ticket, we'll unveil that tomorrow, and you'll see how much you can actually get for yourself. Everybody wants a little money right now. And of course, we want to actually, share some fun items too in our silent auction. And I think Mr. Art is going to be a part of sharing some fun items. Like we have an on-air class, acting class, for one of my good friends who's an instructor with the Second City. And we're going to auction off some in-home wine tastings, which are perfect for right now. And we're excited. We have a couple other fun items that we're going to auction off that evening, but we really want people. We also may have, another little special performance element thrown in there. I can't share that just yet, but we're going to have some fun, and we really want people to come. It's free, and it's a great way to raise some money for us. And as you hear from all of our wonderful participants tonight, we do some amazingly important work. We're incredibly valuable, but we're a nonprofit that needs your help just like everybody else. We're still here. Our doors did not close. So we really are in need of financial support. And because we're doing this virtually, we're not putting a price tag on it. Usually if it was an in-person event, we would charge, $150 for an event, and we're not doing that. We're making this event free so that people can actually have fun, see people that you probably love, that you've loved for a long time, but also hear more and hear more from wonderful guests like Chris, hear more about our work, and hear from volunteers and hear from different staff members on why we are so important in the community and why you should support us. So hopefully people will want to register for free now. And don't wait till the last minute. We're only 4 weeks away. So we want you to come and register now.
Yes. Along the bottom of the screen is a ticker that will direct you guys to the registration process. I did it earlier today. It's very easy. It's very simple. It does not cost you anything, but I do encourage you all to give a donation now more than ever. I know a lot of us, are dealing with a lot of different financial things, but God loves those who donate and give, and it's a tax write-off for next year. Keep that in mind, you guys. It'll be a tax write-off. But do whatever you can to help. Free event, but I'm encouraging you to make a donation to be able to help someone who may be in need of shelter and housing in a very critical health time. We heard a beautiful story from my dear friend, Mr. Chris Moore, tonight about his amazing journey at IMD Guest House. And I am just, overjoyed by that story. I really am. Yes. All right. Well, Dion, you're the guest co-host, dear. I'm gonna let you. You want to any closing thoughts with Adam and Chris before we say good night and goodbye to them?
Well, I would love to just find out from Chris what makes you so passionate about IMD Guest House, and how often did you interact with Adam? I'm just curious.
I'm gonna tell you a true story about that guy right there, that bald guy right there.
Wait, he's bald? I didn't know
really
bald. I just thought he had a blonde fro. I didn't know he was bald.
Adam is a heck of a cook too, because he had his own night there on a Thursday night. He threw down in the kitchen with his people, and also too, once he found out that I sang, he came to one of my shows. I started doing a show on the South Side just to see if I could get my vocals back. Adam came out. He was the only person of the lighter persuasion in the building. No, I take that back. Bartender was there too, from the Cotton Club. I don't know if you remember. I can't think of her name right now, but she was there, and he had a wonderful time. He supported me. Came out. It was wintertime. Came out on the 55th Street, and like he was a gangster. And he had a good time, and even put up his finger when he left, like he was in church, like I gotta go, I gotta be at work in the morning, and he got out of there. But I think just the love that you have from people that you don't even know, they just accept you, they just love on you, they check on you. You'll come by, I'll be down there just sitting there having a cup of coffee. He'll just come in and chit chat with you, ask you how your day's going, because a lot of times we bypass that. We always think that everybody is good, and you're not. But sometimes just a kind word would just make you feel like, okay, cool. Well, he would stop in and grab a cookie or an apple and get on out of there. But I think it's just the whole piece of the calm and serene of the building and the love that is presented by him and his workers, man, it's incredible. You really feel like you're in a real safe place. You're at home, and they take care of you. They make sure you have everything that you need.
Oh, I love it. Marguerite says she see two bald guys here. Right. I thought they both had apples on. It's time for me to get new glasses. Right. Beautiful story, Chris. Really beautiful story. Really beautiful. Yes, absolutely. Well, Adam, in closing, what would you like to say tonight?
I can't really follow up, Chris, with anything much more than that. What I would say is that the greatest treat tonight is to be able to talk to Chris, see he's doing so well, and to just catch up with him for a minute again. It's really an honor to get to know him and to get to see him tonight. So, Chris, thanks so much, and my best wishes to you and everybody.
I'm coming to see you in 2 weeks.
All right.
I don't know if I can get in the building or not. I'll knock real hard on the glass. You got to let me in, but I'm coming to see you in 2 weeks.
And I'll be here for you. Yep.
Very good. Adam, as always, friend, I am so honored to have had you here tonight with us again. I look forward to a continuous friendship with you and the organization, and how I can be of service, because I just think this is wonderful, just to have the love and support and a good, clean, comfortable place to lay your head when you're going through it is really just so, there's no price tag on that. So we need to do whatever we can to help you guys financially. We will do that.
Well, thanks so much, Art. It's great to see you, and it's a pleasure to be able to appear on this show. It's great. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Mr. Adam Hellman, the director of, what is Adam's proper title, Dion? Is it executive director,
executive director, yes. Executive director.
All of that. Yes, the executive director of IMD Guest House, Chicago. I feel like it should be locations all over the world the way you guys have promoted this tonight. Thank you, Adam. I love you. God bless. Have a great evening. Yes. All right. Big Shug, man, I can't wait to see you. Give you a big old hug, all of that.
Yes, sir. You heard me.
Say, sir.
Well, you know what? It's been a slice, man. And the lovely Miss Dion Smith, I'll see you in 2 weeks as well.
Yeah,
I'll be there. I got to come videotape with Scott. So I'll be coming to the building, and then we will spend some time together, Art, and we're gonna make it happen like the captain. All right.
Oh, absolutely, just like old days. I can't wait. I'm not cooking this time, though, Chris. Look, I'm not cooking. We're going out to eat something. I'm past them days. I've been and made you a big old meal. Man. Yeah, look, I'm very practical now. I only have an easy bake oven these days, right?
Lord Jesus.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you guys very much. Thanks for having me.
Love you. I look forward to our conversation, Chris, about Black men and the cancer journey. Okay.
Yes, sir. We definitely get to that. I got a lot of stuff to tell you about that. A lot. All right.
Stuff. God bless you. Thank you so very much. Have a good one. All right, Dion, we did it. We did it. Look, and I even flipped us back in our right position.
I know. I love it. I love it. I said,
on the wrong side of the bed.
I'm not the host. I'm the co-host. Wait a minute.
No, you getting good, babe. You getting good at this. You getting really good at this. You are. You're very good at this. Well, Dion, we just had somebody that registered and donated. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Danielle. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Be on the show with me soon.
Spread the word around the world, please.
Danielle is a great guest co-host. She's going to come on and we're going to talk about September being Prepared Readiness Month.
Oh,
and so she'll be on soon as well, too, but we appreciate her for tonight. All right, Dion, anything in closing you want to say or do, my dear? You always leave us with something. So I don't know if it's a poem, a soliloquy.
I was going to show my blouse from my fabulous friend who has a boutique in her home, and I pray she's doing well, Perlitha. But I love anything that, it's very dramatic. That's why I want to wear that tonight for you. Because it looks like a performance blouse, right? Yeah. So
you should really ain't no mountain high enough or something for us tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Lord, I wasn't going to do that. I don't know if I'm Oh gosh, I would have to go low. My voice is low right now. Ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no valley low enough. Ain't no river wide enough. Keep me from you. Ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no valley low enough. Ain't no river wide enough. Keep me from you. Just for you, Art.
I love you. I do. You did a great job, babe. You did. You always do a great job. Because remember, ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no valley low enough. Ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, babe. But that Cottage Grove bus might keep me from getting to you, though. I don't know if I can get that Cottage Grove bus now.
Oh Lord, please no.
Yeah, we'll see. Right, we'll see. I love how Adam said 45 minutes from Skokie down to Hyde Park. He is absolutely right. That is on. That's kind of like at 5 a.m. on a Sunday morning.
No, wait. I'll say this.
Know.
I will say this because I worked in Skokie for years. I commuted to Skokie for years. I'll be honest with you. You can do it in 35. You just have to be very particular about when you leave.
Right.
You like have to hit that sweet spot. No, I did it at like 9:30-ish. And I would get there. That sweet spot after the rush hour, right? To get there for like 10 o'clock-ish. I would do it because that's that only period of time. If you don't, you can forget about it. Yep.
Yes. My best friend and I'll be someplace on the expressway and be like, who going someplace at 11 a.m. in the morning? Like, what is y'all doing? You know?
I know.
Okay. All right. Well, with that reminder, you guys, we want to remind everyone, please wear your mask. It's very important that you wear your mask. Okay. Put that mask on, baby. Put it on. Okay, very good. Don't forget to continue to sanitize. This is hand sanitizer, but good old soap and water can never be replaced. While you're washing your hands, just go ahead and wash the rest of your body. Just knock it all out at one time. Don't forget to social distance. That's super important for you guys to social distance. And what we always say on this show, if you're not feeling well, keep your ass at home. It's just that simple, just that easy. All right. Coming up on tomorrow night's show, it's the Wednesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. And tomorrow night, we have a humdinger of a show. We actually have fans and viewers and listeners of this show who will be chiming in on some of the hot topic issues that happened last week. As you guys all know, famed pastor John Gray was caught cheating for the second or third time on his wife, and he's issued an apology to his wife and his congregation. So we're going to talk about how much do you forgive people of the cloth when they've made transgressions like that. And I got some great people that want to come on tomorrow night to talk about it. And then also R&B singer and the star of one of the stars of the show Sister. Y'all remember that show? Tia and Tamara Merrow. They were the twin sisters on the show. Well, one of their co-stars, singer Marcus Houston, is 39 years old, and he recently married his 19-year-old girlfriend. So we have some dads of daughters coming on tomorrow night to talk about that dynamic and that situation. Would you let your daughter marry a 19-year-old? I mean, even if you're the mama, Dion, I don't think you would, how would you feel if your daughter came home with a 39-year-old man, Dion? How would you feel?
I definitely would feel some kind of way, but did you hear that he's supposedly Jehovah's Witness, and that's how they live?
I heard that, and it
just makes you think about, and I no disrespect, I don't know, but it definitely makes you think of different communities, different things are acceptable. So I'm just like, I'm not gonna judge you because I don't know. I'm not gonna judge you. So, but
she's fine, baby. She's beautiful. She is beautiful.
She's gorgeous. But let's so you look at the age range at that time, but let's be real. If she was 30 and he was 50, you wouldn't really talk about it as much, right?
Right.
So I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm just saying.
Okay. All right.
And the reverse too.
Yes. Oh, and for those of you all that have watched P-Valley and have been saying, Chat Daddy, have you watched P-Valley yet? I want to let you guys know I finished it. I stayed up to 1 o'clock this morning, and I've watched all eight episodes of P-Valley, and we will be having a conversation about P-Valley very soon on this show as well, too, because P-Valley brings back a lot of memories for me, Dion.
Wow. I want to hear this conversation because I haven't watched it, and I want to hear this conversation.
Yes, P-Valley had me crying at times. It had me laughing at times, and it had me bringing up memories of things that I was involved in many years ago. So yes, I love P-Valley. I can't wait for season 2.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Well, with that being said, you guys, we've got to run. Do me a favor. Please, please, please go register for this wonderful virtual cocktail party that will take place on Thursday, October 8th at 5:30 p.m. I'll be there all evening. So if you guys want to hang out with me on that Thursday night, please do whatever you can to donate to the organization. It's a free virtual cocktail party, so you can be at home, cute from the belly button up, and whatever you want to wear from the waist down. That's on you, boo. That's on you. We just ask that you do not stand up at the cocktail party and show us all your goodies. That's all we're asking. We ask that you do not do that. That would be a hot mess. Okay.
Yes,
So
yes.
we ask that you do not do that. All right. But please, the website for how you can be a part of this wonderful gala is along the bottom of the screen, lovewins.givesmart.com. I registered earlier today. I need you guys to do that as well, too. Well, Dion, you did a great job, darling. I'm sure you'll be back in the co-host seat before the gala again.
No, thank you. I appreciate you. We love you. We appreciate you so much.
You know. I do. I've got to come over and hang out and see what more I can do to help you guys over there, because I just think this is so beautiful. Maybe I have to get in the kitchen one day and cook a meal.
All I can say is we look at you. We want you. We would love for you to be one of our ambassadors, because we love you and we appreciate, who you are and your heart for service. So thank you.
All right. All right. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a beautiful Monday evening. You guys get to rest and love.
Tuesday evening.
Ciao. Thank you, Dion. See, I'm so used to this. It's Tuesday. Honey, you mean to tell me I got 2 more days of this to do? Yay! Do me a favor, go over to YouTube, subscribe to The Real Chat Daddy Show. On Facebook, it's The Real Chat Daddy Show. And here it is at the bottom, my website. That's all you have to do. All right, Dion, I love you, darling. We're getting ready to get out of here, and we're going to start our countdown, baby. Don't be bad. Be good, Shaka, little Shaka. All right, I love you, darling. All right, have a great night, sweetie. It was good as always. All right. I can go get out of here in just a few moments. I love you. That's okay.